Hey everybody. Looks like I'm starting right on time and we're going to do everything tonight. This is the Hebrew show. I'm going to open up tonight. I'm going to um share a bunch of things with you guys, things that you probably already know or things that you probably don't want to know but are going to know anyway. So just sit back, relax and unbutton your slacks because the Hebrew show is ready to go. Let's go. Hey everybody, I'm your host with the most that likes to fight with space ghosts coast to coast, and also Bob from coast to coast. And tonight we're gonna just talk about just my life. I'm gonna open up. I'm an open book. Basically, I'm just gonna go on about stuff, and I got a couple of videos I want to share with you guys, and we'll talk about the Alec Baldwin case a little bit, and you know just chilling. We're just gonna be chilling like a villain, taking our penicillin, and just chilling, just relaxing, maxing, relaxing, shooting some hoops, playing some b-ball outside of our school. When all of a sudden, guys were up to no good, started making trouble in my neighborhood. Well, I got in one little fight. My mom got scared. Said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle to Bel Air." Okay, so there you go. Sadgy would have never let me continue on like that. He would have cut me off. And okay, that's enough, Hebrew. You're talking too much crap. So who do we got in the audience tonight? We got some chatting going on. Oh my goodness, we got Bear Lamb in here. We got good old Philo Fire, Michael Fontaine. Um, yeah, that's all we got so far. But hey, just stick around. Let's see what. Let me read some of the chat here before we get started. We got Bear Lamb who says, right now in my city of Winnipeg, it is 21 Celsius. That is uh, 5 -5 Fahrenheit for you Americans. Wow. Woo! That's cold, brother. Woo-hoo-hoo, man. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in Canada right now. I'm telling you. Let's see here. In my neck of the woods, it is 31 degrees. But yesterday it was like 68 degrees, and we knew this cold front was coming through. We knew that we were going to have this big old cold front, and all of a sudden, it was in the middle of the night. My wife calls me on the phone, says, "Did you get a weather alert on your phone?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Man, I heard my phone going off, and it was buzzing like a son of a gun, and there was a tornado threat." I'm like, "A tornado threat? A tornado threat in December? Holy cow patties." Anyway, I got a whole video on that, and I'm going to explain more about that later, but geez Louise. So anyway, we had a lot of bad weather, and I got really lucky, and it kind of missed over us. Um, we got a lot of rain, though. We did get a lot of rain, but the two towns over from me got a big old tornado. And so now we're sitting here at 31 degrees Fahrenheit. And Bear Lamb says 31 Fahrenheit. I wear shorts in that weather. Well, yeah, maybe. You know what? I did see some people wearing shorts. In fact, there was a big fat woman. Am I allowed to say the word fat? I'm fat too. Don't get me wrong. But for some reason, my legs are real super skinny. So they don't have that extra meat on them that allows me to wear shorts during the winter. But I might as well get into it. I might as well tell you guys all what happened to me today. Let me take a puff off of my cigarette. Ooh, that took 2 puffs. That took 2. You ever hold your cigarette too long and then like it kind of dwindles down and almost goes out? But anyway, so I'm at Walmart. So I had to go to Walmart today. I had to pick up a few things. And what you know, first thing, very first thing, I get into a scuffle. And it happens to be with women. I don't mean like a scuffle, like we actually exchanged blows or anything. You know what I mean? That well, maybe I shouldn't say blows, but anyway, um, I saw these 2 carts. I found the perfect parking spot, and I saw these 2 carts. And me, you know how loud I am. Even when I mumble something, I'm freaking loud. So I get out of my car because I want that parking spot, and there's these 2 carts there. I figured the people were long gone. I figured they put it right there where they parked, you know. So I get out and I go, now who's the asshole who left these carts here? Really loud. I just wanted people to know I was kind of pissed off about this, you know. So no sooner did I say that, I saw this car backing up, and I heard these screeching women like shouting from their freaking car. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? I'm like, oh boy. I'm like, okay, here we go. And they're like, what did you just say? I'm like, I said, who's the asshole that parked these carts here? And they're like, well, we put the carts there. What are you going to do about it? Or whatever they said. I don't know what they said. I'm blocking them out at this point. All I want to do is remove the carts, put them in their proper place, and get inside Walmart, get done what I have to do, and leave, right? Well, no, that's not going to happen. So they're like, you just call us assholes? I'm like, you know what? If you just did an assholish thing, so yeah, if the boot fits, put it on, woman. You know, I was, and so they're getting in my face and they're yelling, and they're screaming. I'm like, excuse me. I'm like, you're yelling at me? I'm like, you do realize, even though I said the word asshole, you guys pulled a dick move here. I mean, looks like both of your legs work. Are you that lazy that you can't move your shopping cart into its proper place? It's like 4 feet. Not even 4 feet. It's like right there. And you left it in a parking space? I'm like, I could see if you left it like maybe over a little bit, people want to, they want to park there. And of course, she's all jumping down my throat. She's like, oh, I worked 16 hours today. I don't feel like, I'm like, you worked 16 hours today, and yet you spent the energy to get out of your car and come to me and bitch about me calling somebody an asshole. And I wasn't even talking to you. And particularly, you outed yourself. You guys could have just drove off and laughed about it. But no, you had to get out and start bitching. And I didn't even think to call them Karen. I should have just said, thanks, Karen. You can go on your way now. But no, I was angry. My freaking adrenaline was going. And I was like, just listening to them. And the one lady was speaking with sort of I won't say accent, but kind of like, who do you think you are? You're over here. You're telling us that we can't put our shopping cart wherever we want this. We can put our shopping cart wherever we want. You go out, you come out, and you start bitching. And I started talking just like her. And I was like just mocking her. And oh my goodness, it was just pissing her off even more and more. And I was laughing. Like I was standing there. And the one lady got in the fat one got in my face and was like, yeah, what you gonna do, man? What you gonna? She was all up in my face, and I'm like, I'm just standing there. Now I am 6'4" and I weigh 260 pounds. Now these ladies, they're millennials. They're millennials, and they're ladies, and they know that a man's not going to hit them, so they think they can just get by with it. And of course, I'm not going to take a swing, or I'm not going to do anything. I'm just standing there laughing, like I'm just standing there. Yes, thanks, Bear Lamb. I know I only have 2 people in the room. It's sad, but you know what? They'll see this later and they'll have a good laugh. Um, but no, I couldn't believe it. I was just standing there beside myself. I'm like, uh, yeah, I'm not skinny by any means. Um, but no, it was hilarious to me. I wasn't even at first. I was real angry, like I was shaking, like you know how you get that adrenaline rush and you just shaking like a leaf, you know. But I'm standing there, and actually, I'm kind of looking around to see if there's any objects that I'm not saying I'm going to hit a lady, but there was two of them, and one of them was kind of big, and I'm there by myself, and I'm in my 40s. They're kind of young, and I'm going to defend myself. You know, just saying, I'm not going to take a swing at him or anything, but hell, I'm still going to defend myself. But anyway, um, so finally, they get in their car, and I didn't think about it, but I should have said Merry Christmas, Karen. I did say Merry Christmas. I said Merry Christmas, by the way. And the one lady, I think I called her a punta or something like that, which in Italian, punta means bitch. It doesn't mean whore. I think in Spanish it means whore, but whatever. She did not like that, to say the least. So she's, if you could picture, if you will, the car is moving and she's got her foot out of the passenger side as this car is moving and dragging along her foot. She's trying to hop out of the car as the car is moving. And I'm standing there. I'm just laughing my ass off. I'm like, whatever, Karen, get back in the car. I got shit to do. It's freezing cold out here. I would like to get inside. Thank you. So finally, she sees me standing there. She sees me starting to really just ignore. I'm just ignoring them at this point, honestly. And so I move the carts and I start to get in my car to park it. And as they're driving off, she says, Biden won, by the way. And I go, okay, no, he didn't. But what the hell does that have to do with this whole conversation? So it's, oh my gosh. I am going to start carrying a camera with me wherever I go, because I swear to goodness, I get into confrontations with just about everyone, just about everywhere I go, especially Walmart. Walmart seems to be like the portal of evil. Like Walmart is that very special place that you go to and you meet very special kind of people. Usually it starts after I'm in there for a while. Doesn't usually start out in the parking lot, but you know, sometimes sometimes shit starts before your feet hit the ground, right? So I do have a cell phone, Bearland, but it's the memory's always full, and I don't really like using it that much to make videos. And if you whip the cell phone out, people are going to notice. They're going to go, "Oh, so now you're videotaping me now?" That's what she would have said. I guarantee it. What I'd like to have, and Sanji brought this up, is I'd like to have a little camera that I attach to my hat. And then when I'm ready, I just click the button, just walk down and see what happens. I guarantee you, I would catch some really interesting stuff. But here, let me take a drink of my tea. Just had a weird cough. I got some videos to share, and I just made this video. I was going to put it in my checkbox, but it's too long, and I can't put it. They said I couldn't put it in my checkbox, and I don't want to go back and re-edit it and break it down. I'm going to play that here in just a few minutes. But I want to get into a couple things first. I want to talk about, like I said at the top of the show, this is going to be sort of just a very personal show. I was bored, and I decided to go live. Oh, by the way, before I really get into it, I'd like to thank everyone On the Odyssey side, whoever's watching this on Odyssey, because I do have this up on Odyssey as well, and we'll I'll go back and watch. You know what? I never go over to the Odyssey side and see who's watching. I bet there's some people watching Odyssey. Let's check it out. We check it out. So here we go. I'm going to the Odyssey sound side, Odyssey side. But as that's loading up, I just want to thank each and every one of you who comes in here and watches my stuff. I know that I probably picked a pretty horrible time to go live. Monday Night Football's on, and I know what that means for a lot of you that have fantasy football. So we'll just see here if we're okay. I am live over on Odyssey. Okay, cool. There's nobody there, but that's cool. There is one currently watching, looks like. So I'll keep it over there. I'll keep my eyes open. If you guys are over there, if you start chatting, then I'll see who. No, nobody watches Odyssey. You're right, man. It's crazy, and it seems like you're the only one chatting over here. I'm gonna wait till more people pop in before I start sharing my personal life. But I will share this. I will share two of my greatest fears. As I was talking about earlier, we had bad storms rolling through the area. So one of my greatest fears is tornadoes. I've never seen a tornado. I've never experienced a tornado. I never had a tornado touchdown in my backyard. But in my area, I'm constantly under tornado threats. And especially around the surrounding areas and close by. And I'm always praying to God, please put a hedge of protection around me and my family. And I don't want to ever experience a tornado. But I have nightmares about it. It keeps me up at night sometimes. And when winter breaks on the news and it says, we're about to have bad weather, we're about to have tornado like winds coming in, straight line winds and whatever, it scares me. Like, I can handle a thunderstorm. Thunderstorms are fine. In fact, I like thunderstorms. They're good for sleeping. But when they start throwing out those tornado warnings, I get scared. I really do. And it's something that has affected me my whole life. As a matter of fact, it was always hard for me to watch The Wizard of Oz growing up because of that fact. But it wasn't until I became a full-grown adult and realized what the damages the weather could actually cause. And so with that being said, tornadoes are one of my greatest fears, and cancer. I'm always scared to death that I'm going to get lung cancer. Let's face it, I smoke. I don't take very good care of my body. I don't eat the right foods. You know what I'm saying? And so, I drink bad water, when I'm making my coffee, I make it straight out of the tap. I know Sagittarically Speaking wouldn't do something like that. Oh, hey, speaking of Sagittarically Speaking, there he is. And he says, "What's up, party people?" And you know what? I almost started off by saying, "What's up, party people?" But that's a registered catchphrase. You cannot use that. If you use that, you get sued by Dan, and Dan is a very harsh man to work with. I know I've worked with him before in the past, and we're going to work with him again in the future, probably on Taco Tuesday. I don't know. But yeah, and we have Christina Federico. No, not Frederico. Federico. You gotta say it like this, though. You gotta say it with the R. I mean, come on, man. You gotta let that roll off your tongue. Like every time I hear the song, "Don't Let Me Down, Bruce." See, I always roll my R when I say Bruce, even though it's unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? Like, Don't let me down, Bruce. I always say it like that. But when I'm talking about Bruce Wayne, I don't ever say it like that. And when I did you know, by the way, that Bruce Wayne is his full name is Bruce John Wayne. That's right, Bruce John Wayne. So there's another fact that you probably never knew. Vast Tech. What the heck is Vast Tech? I don't know what that is. But anyway, so yeah, that's two of my greatest fears: tornadoes, cancer, and actually brown recluse spiders. Because we are in this area, we are full of brown recluse spiders. I mean, every time I turn over a piece of cardboard or I reach behind my desk to go grab something that fell, back there or behind my couch, or you know, every time we sleep, we have up to 16 spiders crawling into our mouths and leaving up to like 1,000 eggs in our esophagus. So I mean, that's a true story. Look it up. No, actually, they found that to not be true. But I do want to talk about Alec Baldwin, the Alec Baldwin case here in just a little bit. But before we get into serious stuff, I do have a 10-minute video, and I hope you guys enjoyed the 10-minute video. And then after the 10-minute video, I will talk about a little bit about my personal life, a little bit about my teenage years. I feel like, oftentimes you guys see me standing up here as a personality, and you don't get to see the real Hebrew. Like, you don't get to see me as an actual person. And a lot of times that's really true because, we don't use our real names. We don't talk like normal people talk. We don't we talk about real stuff. Don't get me wrong. And we're not, it's not like we're lying to you. It's not like we're putting on a performance, but we are kind of putting on the performance. We will practically be neighbors. What do you mean you'll practically be neighbors? But anyway, so yeah, in a way, we are putting on the performance when we do these shows. So you're not really getting the whole full essence of what is the real us. And I think tonight that I'm going to share, I'm going to open up, I'm going to talk about my teenage years a little bit. We're going to reminisce. But first, I'm going to share a couple videos. The first video I want to share is about 10 minutes long. I made a video for you guys. It is December 5th, when I filmed last night's events. You can see the clouds lighting up. I mean, I have never seen this much light. Like, most of the time, when you see a bunch of lightning, it's during the summertime. You very rarely ever see fall storms or fall lightning. It's mostly during the summer. But hey, we got up to, like I said, 70 degrees, and then it became 28 degrees. So when you have that, you're going to have those severe weather threats. And I talk a little bit more of that. So here, as I show this video, I really do explore a little bit of my personal life. You do get to see a little bit of me in it, and I will let the video talk for itself. Saji would have never let me go on for this long. He would have cut me off a long time ago and said, hey, let's just watch the video. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to watch the video. Let me go ahead and get it started here. Don't let me down, Bruce. Because anyway. So what do we got here? Let me search for it. Is it worth it? Let me search it. Let me find out how. Okay, never mind. Hebrew Explains. That's the name of the video. Hebrew Explains. Well, honestly, when I first did this video, I didn't think I was.
Twitter is crazy, as you can see.
Okay, it's glitching up a little bit. That's why I wish they would let me put it in StreamYard, but they won't let me put it in StreamYard because it's too long. So there we go. Let me go ahead and get the share screen ready. And I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope I'm not talking too much. I hope I'm not going on and on and on about nothing, as I do tend to do when I do these things. I said do. Anyway, here we go. Saji would have never let that slide either. He would have commented on that. So let's see. Am I sharing? I am sharing, but I would rather share full screen than have me sitting over here in the corner. Here you go. So let's go ahead and do it. To it. All right. 10-minute video, folks. So just bear with me. See what I did there?
Twitter is crazy. As you can see, I'll point it up to the sky there. It is lightning right now. We're under the threat. Well, now, oh, there you go. Okay. Of severe thunderstorm weather. It is December 6th. And we got some winds gusting up. As you see my lights there.
See that lightning?
Look at that sky. That looks weird. Just hope for the best. Hopefully I don't get crushed under the weight of my own apartment. Hope these beams hold and that God's put a hedge of protection around me and that everything hopefully will be all right. We're under this severe warning until 10:45. It's already rained a little bit. So I don't know. We'll just we'll see what happens. All right, so the storms from last night, they just kind of passed over us, and we got very lucky. We didn't get those heavy storms because the towns next to us, one town that particularly got a tornado. Like, think about this, man. Tornadoes in the middle of freaking December. It's bizarre. It's crazy. It's just a weird trip, man. It really is. And, you could point out like 1,000 different conspiracy theories on that about, the winter dominator and whatnot have you. But anyway, enough talk about that. I want you guys to see some of the stuff I picked up. Is my beard getting white? Hold on, let me see it in a different light. Let's see here.
Kind of lost focus there, didn't I?
Well, there's a blonde in there too. I don't know, but anyway, look at this. I picked up this stuff, and I'm going to do reviews on this on my toy channel. Ooh. So you got the
sit my ass down.
Battle Armor He-Man here, and look at his dumb expression on his face. Ooh. But the cool thing is, and I'll mention this when I do my actual review, is they got the retro style head, like the original He-Man head. If I get this out here, I'm going to switch his dumbass look that he's got right now. My fingernail's a little dirty, sorry. And pretty cool. It actually works. It shows on the back here that it does, in fact, actually work the way it's supposed to. Like, you don't have to take it out like you do with the wrestlers that came out earlier last year. Man, I'm talking funny. I don't know. So I have that He-Man, and then over here I got Skeletor, and he's got this dumb look on his face, like, I'm angry. I'm going to kill you, you dummy. But then the cool thing is, he's got the regular Skeletor head, the old-fashioned one. So, and he's got different hands that you can replace. Well, one hand anyway. Because the better to hold this his retro style weapons with. It comes with a shield. Never seen a Skeletor shield before, but battle armor Skeletor, which is cool. And I'll replace, of course, this one. I have another one of these that I used on my other Skeletor. So I'm going to take this one off and go ahead and pop that one on during my review. Actually, He-Man looks kind of frightened here. On his face. Oh! Yeah, he's scared. Like someone just stabbed him in the chest. He's like, oh my God, I'm going to die. But actually, it's battle damage chest, so he'll be okay. And then, of course, I got the Wind Raider here. And for those of you familiar with Master Universe toys, this is like the design of the original Wind Raider, and I'll talk about that on my other channel as well. So
I'll leave a link to my other channel.
I also have the original Wind Raider
after the show
box to go with it, so I'll be showing that on my channel as well. Look at this, Good and Plenty. I know people are going to be talking about Good and Plenty. Well, here's the Good and Plenty. It's still a full box, and I got this the other day. I was going to the movies, and as we're going to the movies, we tend to stock up on different candies and stuff from Target. The wife puts it in her purse.
I can't read the chat right now, so
forth. But,
if anything's going on in the chat,
a lot of people think these things are gross.
I'll catch up on that later.
That's the people that don't like black licorice, for the most part, and because it is a licorice candy. I mean, come on, let's be honest with each other now. And let's see, this expires. Because yes, I am that guy. It never expires. Cool. Oh wait, no. Let's see. What the fuck? They smudge the writing, so they just want people to get sick, I guess. 7/22. So I think we're good. Doesn't expire till till next July. So June, July. Yeah, next July. So we're good. And plenty. Put that in the corner. So this is where I do all my stuff. This is my mask I use for my Halloween special on the other channel, one of the other channels.
Best YouTuber.
Actually. So, and then we got some wrapping paper here. I got my wrapping paper, but I didn't get enough gift bags. I got these. Let me show you something. Oh, I done threw it away, but I had these gift bags. Well, here's one of them. These gift bags are $3. You get like, I don't know, 4 of them or whatever, but they're so flimsy. I put something in one of these gift bags, and it actually tore a hole out at the bottom. I'm like, really, dude? And that was a beautiful gift bag, too, but it got ripped in half, so it was like, better use a different one. Anyway, I got my Star Trek stuff over here. Whoops. Gotta make that noise twice. Whoops. Whoops. Beautiful sound.
Whoops.
So I got these Star Trek action figures. They're still in the package, of course. And what's interesting about this one is it actually comes from Venture. And you can see the original price there, $4.99. And actually, that's not too high for what they are today. Just a few bucks, so kind of interesting. These run and still in the package $7.99. So I mean, and I got this from some dude, Evansville, Indiana. When I went on my vacation, I got that video.
We got Keith's dad on here. All right.
Which it didn't seem to get a whole lot of views. Hey, there's some lighters. Jeez Louise, I wonder where these lighters got off.
We got here, let me read real quick. We got Keith's dad. Look at all these wrenches. We got Keith's dad, John from America. He says hello. Saji was kind enough to drop the link to my other channel in there. Thank you, Saji. Yes, I am disappointingly low on red plaid things. I'm sorry about that, Keith's dad. You can use the gift bags to gift weightlifting equipment. Right. Rip. My toes broke again.
There they are. Yeah. So got a lighter now.
I'm reading the comments from my phone. So
Cats, this mini tank. It's kind of cool. Hot Wheels. See there? And also, I got all these Star Trek figures. I'm going to do some reviews on those next month, next year. Happy New Year, everybody! Time to review Star Trek. So yeah, I'll do that on my other channel, not this one. And here is Dr. Hugo Strange. Yep, should have used him for my 12 Angry Dudes movie that I've got up on there right now. Yeah, he looks almost like a lawyer, though. You know what I mean? Like he could have been the boy's lawyer. Huh. Go figure. Oh, well. Thing and found a lighter. It's cool. You know, I was thinking about looking in that bag for a lighter. Dang it. So, anyway, got my lighter here, so let's go ahead and continue on with the live stream. This is actually part of the live stream here. Let's see, do I got anybody in my live stream? Oh, there's a comment. So, yeah, I better get going. It's almost the time. It's almost start time, actually. First, let's take a look. I want to show you guys real quick.
I should have just went with it.
We're supposed to get those storms. Of course, we got a lot of rain. So that barrel over there, I need to drill a hole through it. The bottom. My burning barrel. Whoa. So, yeah, I got a lot of lights here. Christmas lights. And when I do my Christmas video special, you guys will see a lot of these Christmas lights. I see my breath. But here's my burning barrel. Let's take a look at it. I don't think you can see the water in it. But it's got water sitting in it from all the rain we got last night. So, yeah, I'm going to drill a hole through the bottom of that because it's nasty. Anyway, go back inside here.
John Snyder, Howard.
You see my balls, jingle balls, and there's Santa Claus sitting there staring at me. It's a weird looking Santa Claus. I mean, whatever, but there's my good little Santa Claus right there. So, yeah, let's get back to the live stream.
All right. Well, we're back. As you can see, I was reading some of the comments there that you guys were leaving as we were moving along there. And we got Michael Fontaine getting in there talking about RoboCop 2014. So, as I promised, I'm going to talk a little bit about me. You know, some of the cool things I did and some of the weird and strange and embarrassing things that I did as a teenager. Because, you know, when you're a teenager and you're in love, like love as a teenager is way different than when you're an adult. Because as a teenager, it's raw, untapped energy. When you have a girlfriend and you're in love as a teenager, it's totally different experience than when you're an adult and you have a girlfriend or a fiance or a wife. As an adult, love is just it's like a jagged pill. It's so just it's there. Don't get me wrong, and it's intense, I guess I want to say, but not as intense it is when you're a teenager. Because, of course, when you're a teenager, your hormones are just running wild, and you just, you're so in love, and you just, and when that person breaks up with you as a teenager, it's like your heart rips out of your chest. You don't want to eat. You don't want to sleep. You basically just want to lay down in your bed and stare at the ceiling and die. That's really what it boils down to. As an adult, your senses are more dulled to love. Like love is just it's how's that song go about love? Love hurts. Love burns, love stings, love flings, you know how the song goes. I don't have to explain it to you, but anyway, so the first story I want to tell is the first time I ever got drunk. This is kind of a cool story, all right? So, yes, I'm going to embarrass myself a little bit, and I'm going to sort of tell on myself a little bit here. But the first time I ever got drunk, I was about 13 years old, and I'll never forget. You never forget that first time, right? So, like, I had this Ghostbusters 2 cup. I had just watched the movie Ghostbusters 2 about a week before. And man, this is so fresh in my mind, dude. I'm serious. This is a heart attack. And it was a glow in dark Ghostbusters 2 cup. It was glow in the dark, and it came from AMC. Let me show you a picture of the Ghostbusters 2 cup. Let me look it up real quick. Let's see here. Ghostbusters 2 glow in the dark cup. Here we go. Oh crap, I'm getting all kinds of stupid results. Now that one shows from Hardee's, but I didn't have the one from Hardee's. Here it is. Boom. All right. Let me blow it up on the screen there. Okay. So let me share my screen. La da dee, la da da. Here it is, the glow in the dark cup. So this is a pretty big cup. For you that don't know, this is AMC. The first time I ever saw Ghostbusters 2 was in the movie theater, and this was the cup. And I remember it so well because it was dark in my room. I was watching some movies, and I remember my grandpa fell asleep, and he slept on the couch a lot. And I think he was still working at the time or whatever. But this was the weekend, so he might have been out at the time. But anyway, we're telling my story, not his story. So my grandpa drank Milwaukee's Best. And for those of you who don't know, Milwaukee's Best, we used to call it the Beast because it was so disgusting. It was so wrong. It had a bitter taste to it. You remember those commercials, the old guy that makes the bitter beer face, gosh, I can't talk tonight. But anyway, so I snuck about 3 or 4 Milwaukee's Beast, the Beast, Milwaukee's Best into my bedroom. And I poured that in there. But here's how dumb I was as a teenager. And I think we're all dumb, and we can kind of relate to this because we don't know the total effects of alcohol and what happens when you mix certain alcohols together. And I know a lot of you are going to go, ew, that's disgusting. But I actually found like half a bottle of wine. Like they had a big old jug of wine in the fridge. And you know how they say, don't mix beer and wine ever. Well, what they're talking about is drinking beer and then later on drinking some wine. Well, I took this wine and I literally mixed it with beer. I put some wine in there and I put some beer in there and I mixed them all together. I think I might have also had some Mad Dog or whatever. I don't know. I was 13 years old. I was dumb. So I poured all this mixture in this great big cup. This is like a 32-ounce cup, by the way. And so I mixed it in this cup. And at first it was okay. At first it actually didn't have that bad of a taste to it. But then as the night went on, as you get buzzed and you're buzzing hard and the room starts spinning, you don't really care about the taste. It doesn't even taste bad anymore. And so I've got to tell you, I was watching movies and I was just drinking away. And I got so sick. I got so sick that night. I mean, my goodness, that was the first time I'd ever experienced a pre-hangover. I threw up on everything. And, when you're 13 years old, you're not going to clean up after yourself. So I threw up everywhere and went to bed. And boy, let me tell you, I got in so much deep shit. And here I am. It's early in the morning. I have terrific headache. And oh boy, was I getting yelled at like just beyond belief. And probably one of the biggest punishments I ever received, besides the time when I did a 911 prank call when I was about 11 years old or so. Um, but yeah, so that was the first time I ever got drunk. I was 13 years old. And so that's one experience that I could tell you I have many regret about. So after that experience, like, yeah, don't ever mix beer and wine, especially nasty beer like Milwaukee's Best. So let's see who's still talking here. We got Michael Fontaine is still talking. Is Philifire in the room? I didn't see Philifire. I must have missed that one. We got Saggy, Bear Lamb was here. Christian Bell. Yeah, Philifire was here. Oh my goodness. How did I even miss that? Let's see what Saggy has to say here. Beer, then wine, everything's fine, but wine and beer can be quite severe. Yes, yes. I thought you were going to go in a different direction with that, but yes, thank you. I wish I would have known that back when I was 13 years old. That would have saved me a lot of pain and torture. Um, so one more story, embarrassing teenage story. So you know how I was talking about love and how I had this girlfriend and oh my gosh, my hormones were running rampant and we were in my bedroom and we were just watching movies. We were there chilling and again, I had this cup. I had this Ghostbusters 2 cup. And I was 15 years old at the time. And I she was around the same age, I think. And we were in the room and oh gosh, this is going to be so embarrassing. But we were playing around, exploring each other's bodies and whatnot. That's the delicate way of putting it. And the one rule that I had in the house when I was a teenager is if I had a girl over, for under no circumstances could I ever close the door. And well, I decided I've had enough. I got my girlfriend and we want our privacy. So being a dumb teenager, I decided I'm going to close this door. And boy, was that a big mistake because that's what gave us away. I closed the door and we start fooling around and we didn't even hear a noise, like no footprints, nothing. All of a sudden, the door swings open and it's my grandpa standing right there at the doorway. And here I am, you know, and I'm like, I covered up so fast, like I pulled the cover right straight off of my bed and just threw it on both of us. And I'm like, oh boy, this is awkward. Needless to say, she left that night in embarrassment, and I never saw her again since then. So yeah, I mean, and I was heartbroken over that. I was really in love with her, so that was bad. Now we did manage to talk, I guess, a little bit after that, but she decided that it was because he really came down on this hard. Like he really gave us the what for, and I think he scared her off, and so from that point going forward, if I was going to do anything like that, I knew better. I knew go in the woods, go in a wooded area, go behind an abandoned house, or you know, go in a park after dark. Don't go to your room, or if you're going to do that in your house when you're a teenager, wait till the parents or grandparents, wait till they're gone. They're not home. Know what time they're going to get back and make sure they're all gone. You know what I mean? That's like what I'm saying, you know? So yeah, I was raised by my grandparents and they were in their 50s when I was a teenager. And actually, that's, well, look, 50s or six, they were in their 60s, I think, as I was a teenager. But like late 50s, early 60s when I was a teenager. And anyway, yeah, go go to the wooded area like an axe murder. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. And at the time, I didn't have a car. For a long time, I didn't have a car. I was always driving other people's cars, and that's another thing that you people don't know about me is I didn't get my driver's license. This is going to be embarrassing too. I didn't get my driver's license till after I was in my 20s. That's right. I bummed off of other people, bummed rides. Um, I was a slow learner. And when I went to take the test when I was 16 years old, I crashed the truck into a utility pole because my grandpa was screaming at me so much that it made me so nervous that I lost control of the wheel and then bam, right to a utility pole. Of course, we were all right and we were able to get the damages fixed and all that stuff. But and then when I got into driver's ed, I quit because I was embarrassed. I was frightened. I didn't want to deal with that. He he came down on me really hard when I was driving, like every little thing. You're wearing on the brakes when you go to a stop. You do this, you do that, and don't turn around the corner too fast. And that day, he was screaming that in my freaking ear, and I got nervous. I lost control of the wheel. That was my first and only accident that I ever had. And then when I did get my driver's license, by the time I did, I have never had an accident since I've had my driver's license. Never. Not one single accident. I've been in a few fender benders, but that's people hitting me. I've had people back into me. I've had people skid into me. That happens. You have that happen. But I've never been in one accident. So that, in a way, I guess that kind of taught me a lesson. You know, when we were young, we all learned to drive on back roads, country roads, gravel roads. We were like the good old boys. We slid into our car and we spun our tires and all that good stuff. And speaking of the good old boys, I have a video clip here that I want to share, and it's of John Schneider. As you guys are all aware, the Alec Baldwin case is a huge thing now. And John Schneider, who is very familiar with guns, and especially guns on a movie set, knows exactly what he's talking about. And, because he's been on a movie set with guns and he's directed movies that use guns and so forth and so on. So he has a 23. Yes, that's about, yep. I didn't do what you did, but that's about when I got my my license. At 23. Very proud of that. And I got them 23 on the 13th of October. And it was a Friday the 13th in October. Anyway, getting back to the case, the Alec Baldwin case. Alec Baldwin claims that he didn't pull the trigger, that he had pulled back on the hammer, and the hammer, when they were setting up the shot, that the hammer got released and bang, that's what happened. Now that's what he said when he went on the air with George Stephanopoulos or whatever his name is. I never can say that guy's name right. Quite frankly, I don't care. But that is just weird, strange, and to be honest, I think it's complete bullshit. I don't know why he would go on the air and say something like that. Why his lawyer, if in fact his lawyer even advised him to do anything, If I was his lawyer, I would not have advised him to say anything before the trial. Just keep your damn mouth shut, But anyway, so yeah, he goes on there and says that. And as John Schneider will demonstrate, it is totally impossible. And anybody that knows anything about guns, that hammer, even if you drop it, well, I guess the hammer could go forward if you drop the gun, but even if you're going to drop it, let's say you drop it, and John Schneider will demonstrate that here in just a minute, but it's going to be pointed upwards, or it's going to be on the side, or you're going to shoot your foot or whatever. It's not going to go off. It's just not going to go off, period. I've owned guns my whole life. I don't have a Colt. I have a 22 pistol. And of course, with a 22 pistol, you don't have to pull back the hammer. All you do is pull the trigger. You don't have to pull back the hammer. And I'm not going to get my 22 out and demonstrate because it's not a Colt. And I think YouTube, I might get in trouble for that. I don't think you're allowed to show guns on YouTube unless you're demonstrating. And it's loaded. So, I don't want to get it out of the drawer and unload it and then show you that it's unloaded and blah, blah, blah. We're not going to go through all that. But I am going to show you the Alec Baldwin video. Oh, I'm sorry, Alec Baldwin. I'm going to show you the John Schneider video here in just 1 second. Let me get it. I got to get up here. I've got my Ghostbusters 2 cup going up there, and that might be good luck for me. I don't know. Okay, so we got Lotar 900 is talking over here on Odyssey. Let me talk about that real quick before I show this video. No one watches Odyssey. Yo mama's so dirty that she was banned from sewage facility because of sanitation worries. That's pretty funny. Anyway, DD74. Okay, what's this from DD74? Let me click it. Oh, don't bring me. Okay, I can't play it on here. Whoa. Wow. That's what the holy crap. Oh, wow. Of course, I can't play it. I'll get copyright claim or whatever, but wow. What a video. I'll tell you. But anyway, now that I'm on YouTube, thank you, DD74, for sending that. Because earlier I was talking about, don't bring me down, Bruce. I'll watch that later. And maybe when we cut this off, we'll go to Odyssey, maybe watch a few videos there when I cut off the YouTube portion. But tonight, I don't even plan on cutting off the YouTube portion, so I don't know. But anyway, let me go to my history. History. You need to go to your history. Okay, Hebrew, quit singing. I know. So, all right, let me go to my history here. And here is John Schneider.
We're live here on YouTube.
This is a pretty long video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip it right to the point when he's talking about the gun. He's showing the gun and showing what could happen. I'm not quite sure what point. He's doing a live stream.
Then what?
Okay, this isn't the video I was looking for where he's showing the gun. He's actually just talking. This is 18 minutes long. Where is the video? Hold on. Maybe YouTube took it down. Let's see. Dooba-dooba-dooba-doo. Let's go to his channel. John Schneider. I saw it last night and oh crap. Here it is. Okay, there we go. This is the one where he's talking about.
Hit the red button, make sure we see red. We're live.
Okay.
We're live. Okay.
So let me go ahead. This is 7 minutes and 29 seconds long, so I don't have to skip anything. Just going to show the whole video, and you guys enjoy it. I hope we don't get a copyright claim and they shut down my stream. They shouldn't. It's not a video about pandas or whales or elephants painting portraits of themselves, so we should be all right. Okay. Yeah, it's just a video about a guy showing a gun. Anyway, maybe I should put myself in the corner on this one because it is like sharing. When you're sharing a video, you want yourself to look big and them to look small, so you don't get that copyright claim. So let me go ahead and share it, and let's see what we got here. John Schneider explains, and I guess before I play it, I should say all credit goes to John Schneider. John Schneider, thank you for letting us share your video, and please don't copyright claim us. Thank you.
Is this a Colt? Is this a Dakota? This is a Colt. Okay. And I've just been handed this weapon, so I'm now going to click it back so that I can check it. Now, here's what I'm doing. I'm checking in here to make sure there's nothing in it. Okay. Nothing in this weapon. Now, this is someone else.
And he's doing the right thing. When you're handed a gun, you always check it, even though, and also when you hand someone a gun, you show them, you open it up and you show them, look, there's nothing in here. And then when you hand them the gun, and when you get your hands on that gun that someone handed you, you check it yourself. You know, the old rule, check, double check, triple check. Always check.
Else's Colt, I'm not going to dry fire it. Okay. You can also look here and see, here, come right there. You can see right there that there's nothing, there's no lead in there. Now, if I were to be really persnickety about this, which you would be on a set, you would come in here, you take.
So he just took that out.
You would take this out.
Take out the cylinder, yep.
Check it. And then, it's going to make some people squeamish, you would look down.
I don't like when he does this.
I'm showing myself my finger. Now, here's why. Look down the barrel. You see right down the barrel?
Yes.
And I'm making sure that there's nothing inside there. Right? You see my finger back there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This move coming up here, I don't really like when he does
So
this.
you do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
And then,
don't do that, John.
you would then. Now, I understand that this is a pain in the butt, but this is what, probably this gun's never been apart like that. This is what, come on, you.
Uh-oh.
Just a minute.
I've had that problem too, cleaning my 22.
I've never had it apart.
There we go. This is what, so I'm getting it back. There. This is what firearm safety is all about. Now, this is a single action weapon.
He just dry fired it, by the way.
Pull the trigger, pull the trigger, pull the trigger, nothing happens, right? In order for this to fire, you've got to pull it all the way back. I'm not going to dry fire it because this is someone else's weapon and they probably wouldn't like that. But as far as you know, is there any way that if this gun had a bullet in it right now that it could go off without someone doing that?
No.
No. Okay. So these guns have a safety built. There's kind of a safety right there. The first click is a safety. Okay. So nothing is going to happen with this weapon. There's no way for this weapon to go off. I could drop it, which I will not do. Don't fret, Randy. But you've got to pull it back, pull the trigger. Okay. Now there is some thought to that Alec was fanning it. If I fan
that wouldn't do anything unless your hand's on the trigger.
There, unless
your finger's got to be on the trigger.
I have my finger on the trigger.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So fanning it will make it stop here, or here, or here. This is a very tough. Well,
And anybody
there,
with
it's a
an
really
ounce
tough
of
spring.
sense knows this.
Okay, it's a tough spring because it does take quite a bit of
And I
pressure
wouldn't put
and
my
impact
finger there
and
either.
that to discharge anything. So that's how a single action weapon works. You can't accidentally pull the trigger. Now, if you have your finger on the trigger
Which
and
I
you
think,
fan it, it will go. Okay, see? Because it's the trigger that releases that catch right there. I don't want to dry fire it, but
It'll be okay.
okay, so it's the
okay, so
trigger
he just told him to
releases
be okay to dry
that
fire
catch.
it. There you go.
All right.
But he just dry fired it.
So the notion that this weapon could go off without somebody pulling the trigger is really hard to believe.
Yeah, you'd have to hit it with a rock or a hammer.
And while we're at it, in order to load this weapon, this is an intentional action as well. You've got to line this up. You can't load it if it's like that. You have to line this up, put a bullet in it, turn it, put another one in it, turn it, put another one in it, right? Up to 6.
Mhm.
Now, a lot of people will keep an empty chamber on one.
Which I do as well.
They'll keep one empty chamber in there so that
Mhm.
in case somebody hits that, I guess they're.
Now he talks about, and this is the part where I wanted you guys to see, is he starts talking about what Hollywood does. When he starts talking about the dummy bullets, and I agree with him, you would never have dummy bullets on the set with live ammo. That should have never been an issue. Even if you're rehearsing. If you're rehearsing, you would never have any bullets in it to begin with, whether they be dummy rounds or live rounds. None of that stuff should have happened.
There's some notion way back when with cheap replicas that something could happen there. But in order for that to happen, I'd have to drop it, or somebody would have to hit it with a hammer. But if I dropped it, it would fire up, right? So there's a lot of things we're told to believe that don't make a lot of sense. Now, I have checked this, and I have not put it down since I checked it multiple times. So my understanding is,
and I hope I'm not losing the stream.
that the gun was fired. It was cross-drawn.
Am I still
and then
streaming?
Fired down like this.
I need to pause it a second and check and see, because I don't have anybody telling me if I'm losing the stream or not. Are we still streaming? Okay. Well, good. 50 caliber Desert Eagle. Oh man, that's a hell of a punch. All right, let's continue watching. The interesting thing I wanted you guys to hear is hear him talk about, the way movies are set up, and he even shows a clip from one of his films that shows somebody firing a weapon and how they would do it, how they would go about doing it. So let's continue. Let's get back to that.
Part of the interview, Alec is saying that she was telling him where to point, and that makes perfect sense. It makes absolute sense, telling him where to point the gun. Okay. So in that world, if she were holding the camera, and I'm going to point this at your left hand, it is. I'm going to show you once again that it is. Sorry, it is in fact empty. Right. So squat down just a little bit. So if he was cross drawing and then aiming it like this, she was telling him where to aim. Could be she said lower, 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 which kind of makes sense there now. And then the director might be behind her. So she's here, the director's behind her. Now, this is total speculation, but she was shot clean through and it hit the director as well, in the shoulder, I think, in the collarbone. So there had to be it had to be like this, okay? And so this is not a gun that fell on the ground. This is not a gun, even if I fanned it, remember, if I fan it and my finger is not on the trigger, nothing's going to happen. The only way that goes down is if I pull the trigger. So it's not adding up for me. And
Yeah,
I
me
hope it's not
neither.
adding up for you either.
No.
Okay. So beautiful. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
And there you have it. Whoops. So there's his. He doesn't. Okay, so he didn't go into that in this video, but that's what I wanted to share with you guys here tonight. Oh, are you? You're over on the Odyssey side? Okay, cool. Let's see here. Let me get over to Odyssey. Wait, let me do that in my guy voice. Let me get over to Odyssey. And so you're right, Saji. There's no way in hell that I could go on for 2 hours like this. I barely made it. Was it an hour, 11 seconds? But I do have some things I want to talk about. I want to show you guys. You know, we often talk about, you know, the Milky Way. We often talk about, you know, Aristotle and stuff like that. And, you know, I've been looking at my Milky Way candy bars for the last hour and a half now. And been wondering, you know, if you eat a Milky Way candy bar, you know, you eat that and then you pull the nougat out. You know, let me show you. Hold on. Ooh, got to get up. I'm going over to my Milky Way candy bars. Okay. I am now pulling out Milky Way candy bars. And I know some of you out there are saying, well, Milky Way candy bars are gross. You know, you don't want to eat them. And I get that. But let's say this Milky Way candy bar represents the center of the universe. So we open up this Milky Way candy bar. And you got this Milky Way candy bar, and you open it up. On the surface, it seems like nothing's going on. Even though you have all these different lines going around the candy bar and stuff like that. However, as you open it up and you see in the middle, it's got all this nice gooey caramel, gooey nougat caramel and stuff. And that is what our galaxy is made up of. Basically, it's made up of gooey caramel and nougat. And we live right in the center of this Milky Way candy bar. Now, of course, according to other sources, we no longer live in the Milky Way, but we live on the edge of Orion's belt. So, you know, you got to imagine if you're in this nougat, if you're in sort of this center of this caramel nougat or whatever, you never know. Like someday it could collapse in on itself. It could get squished like that. And then, you know, when you're eating the candy bar, it collapses in on itself. And that's basically what our universe is doing right now. It's broken in half. It's broken down. And the gooey nougat inside of there is like our planet. And it's folded in on itself. And a giant monster is eating it. And scientists actually predict in the next 2 decades or so, if we should live that long, that there will in fact be a time when our galaxy will rip in half, exposing all the gooey nougat. And thanks Thanks, Bear Lamb. Thanks for joining us here tonight, and we really appreciate it, man. Thank you. But and that's why I think we're seeing all these Mandela effects here lately. And I've been seeing a lot of Mandela effects here lately. I have been, and I've been reporting them as I see them. And I think we're going to see a whole lot more Mandela effects as time goes on, if we live that long. I predict the world's going to end in like 2025, but you know, that's just me. Hey, we got bone breaking action just popped in here. Hey, Mr. Bone Breaking Action. You're going to try to eat as many candy bars as you can before it all collapses. Yeah, I don't blame you, man, because I'm telling you, dude, it's getting to the point where I look outside my window or outside my door. I can't really see outside my window, but it's getting to the point where I look outside my window and I see a full moon. And I wonder, that full moon that's out there, what the heck is it doing out there during the day? And why is it not shining as bright as the moon used to shine? Is it a fake moon? I don't know. Do we live in a glass bowl? Those are the many theories that people have. And I think some of the theories are weird, but I try to indulge in as many of them as I can. And I try to see the other point of views. I try to be the guy that enlightens people and tries to see outside the box and tries to explore different things, like I did with that Milky Way candy bar. And I know the Milky Way candy bar isn't the best living example of a collapsed universe, but I do believe that the universe is collapsing in on itself right now as we speak, and it's crossing other timelines. And that's why we're seeing all of these Mandela effects that we're seeing. Like, for example, it's very strange, but I had a comment in my comment section the other day. I did a video on Egon, the character Egon, Dr. Egon Spengler, and him having siblings, because now the words have changed from I had a slinky and then I straightened it to we had a slinky and then I straightened it. That was a quote from Ghostbusters 2, and you guys could check out that video. But I had a comment that was interesting, and I thought this for years, by the way. And he said Dan Aykroyd's name used to be spelt differently. And Aykroyd, like Dan Aykroyd, like I'm going to put it on the screen right now. Dan Aykroyd. Okay, here's how it's spelt right now. So let me show you that real quick. Dan Aykroyd. To all our readers in the U.S., please don't scroll past this. This Monday, for the first time recently, we humbly ask you to defend Wikipedia's independence. 98% of our readers don't give a shit. They just simply look the other way. If you are an exceptional reader who has already donated, we sincerely thank you. If you donate just $2.75 or whatever you can this Monday, Wikipedia would keep thriving for years. We ask you humbly, please don't scroll away. If Wikipedia has given you $2.75 worth of knowledge this year, take a minute to donate. Show the world that accesses to reliable, nutritional information matters to you. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Maybe don't do that. Like in the middle of my broadcast, you dinkum parasites. Look at this. What in the heck? When did this start going on? This is a Mandela effect. Get the hell out of here, you jerks. So I guess Wikipedia is starting to collapse in on itself as well. So anyway, here's the spelling of Dan Aykroyd. Okay? Now let's examine Aykroyd. 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 Now, in my comment section, the guy mentioned that he remembers the spelling of Aykroyd very differently. And I would agree with him on this. Very much so. Because when I was a little kid, I watched Ghostbusters from a little kid up until now. I must have watched the first movie 10,000 times, maybe a million times. Who knows? And I would watch the credits when I was a little kid. I would watch the credits so I get to learn who the guys were, because when I was a little kid, I had no idea who these guys were. Because Saturday Night Live wasn't even on my radar. As a little kid, you don't watch Saturday Night Live. You watch the Three Stooges. But honestly, though, I studied this name. I've seen the name, and I have since made stop motion movies where I put his name on the credits. And so, with that being said, the name Aykroyd is very foreign to me. Now, here's how I spell the name Aykroyd. Okay, check it out. I'm going to close the window here. And let's see here. We'll remove that. There I am. Hello, guys. There's only 2 people watching. That's okay. It's cool. So let me type out Aykroyd. How I Aykroyd. Let's see what we get. Including results for Aykroyd. Let's see. And look, there's actual. It's an actual name. It's a name of guys. So here, check it out. I'm going to share my screen with you, and you guys can check it out. Check it out. Okay, now this is in very small letters, so I don't know that if you guys can see this or not. But I'm going to go ahead and point it out as I go along. So results for Aykroyd include Aykroyd's Scottish Bakery, which is spelt Ackroyd, Aykroyd, and it's an actual name because here is Peter Aykroyd. Let's take a look. Peter Aykroyd. All right, and here's his IBM page. IMDb page. And I'm going to highlight it so you guys can see it better. And he died in 2021. But anyway, there's how he spells his name, Aykroyd. So there's that. And then, of course, you got, let's see. And there he is, Peter Aykroyd. He died. And actually, Peter Aykroyd, it says SNL actor, writer, dead at 66. I never even heard of this guy. Like, why have we never heard of this guy? But look, this is weird. Look how the name is spelled now. It's not spelled the way we saw it. Look, check it out. This is weird. Peter Aykroyd is spelled the way Dan Aykroyd's name is spelled. But when I looked it up, it is spelled differently. Look, right here. Peter Aykroyd. Why is it spelled? It's spelled Ackroyd here. However, is there 2 Peter Aykroyds? Well, why does this say Aykroyd? And then when you click it, look. This is Aykroyd. Ackroyd. And then when you click on it, It's a totally different spelling. Freaking weird, huh? All right, let's see some of the comments here. I know you guys almost cannot see that, but no, there's no relation. There's no relation, but it's spelled this. You click on it, and it's spelled differently. It's spelled differently than when you click on it. So there's something strange in this neighborhood. Look, this is how Dan Aykroyd spells his name. This is how Peter Aykroyd spells his name. But yet, in the article, you can clearly see this saying Peter Aykroyd, same guy. Well, I'm not going to. No. Is this the same guy or is this a different guy? You tell me. I don't know. Anyway, I just look. Explore Peter Aykroyd with images. Peter Aykroyd, look. His name is spelt right there. Boom. Weird. Okay, anyway. So I just wanted to put that out there and let you guys decide. Is that the same thing? Hey, I am on the Odyssey side. Hey, I'm on the Odyssey side. Okay, Saji, we know. Did I get cut off on Odyssey? It looks weird. Anyway, so you know what? I am getting hungry. I'm getting hungry and I'm kind of running out of words. Although I will tell you guys a story here in just a minute. Let me refresh my drink. I'm gonna go ahead and put up the ad break. You know what I do. You know the thing.
You know the thing.
We're gonna go ahead and go to a quick break. Smoke them if you got them, guys. And I'll be right back with a few fairy tales for you guys. I'm sure you'll appreciate that. All right, let's go now. All right, and I'm back, and you know what? I got to clean out my refrigerator. But no. So now it's story time. Story time with Hebrew. See, I should have some whimsical music. Whimsical. Yeah, that sounds right. Okay. Whimsical music playing when I tell the stories. So here's the. Oh, that's a good That's good, Michael Fontaine. That's very good. You're right. You may have a good point there. I always thought it was Rubik's with an X myself. But yeah, was it Rubik's with a CS? Huh. Or is that the way it is now? Oh my gosh, I'm totally blown away by that one. Good catch, Michael. So I was talking about story time. When my daughter was very little, I used to, of course, sit her on my lap and I would tell her stories to get her to go to bed, like every parent does at one time or another, And most often it would be fairy tales. Sometimes I'd read her a Dr. Seuss book or something like that. Like one of my favorite ones I liked and I think she liked was Dum Diddy Dum Diddy Dum Dum Dum. Drum Diddy Drum Diddy Drum Drum Drum. How did that go? 12 monkeys banging on a drum. Drum diddy dum diddy dum. Diddy 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 dum dum dum. Wearing rings on all their fingers and even on their thumbs. Dum diddy dum dum dum. I I used to like that story when I was a kid, and I used to read it to her, and it was cool. Do you remember? Anybody remember that story about the monkeys beating on the drum? Dum diddy dum dum dum. 12 little monkeys beating on the drum. Dum diddy dum dum. Remember that? Anybody? All right. So anyway, when I would read the story, when I would not read the stories, but when I would recollect the stories in my mind that was passed down to me when I was little, I don't know, like the Three Little Pigs and the Little Boy That Could and Jack and Jill, stuff like that. I would I like your stuff there, fellow fire. It's pretty cool. But I would change things up. I would make things up in the stories because when you tell the stories so often, you get bored after a while, and you want to change a pace. You know what I'm saying? You just want something different. So I would throw in different ideas into the stories. The stories would be pretty much the same, but it would be just a small change in there, just a little bit of something, a little bit spice it up. I'll give you a good example. Oh yeah, I remember the Diddy Dum. Yeah, yes sir. I'll give you an example. Let me read you the story of the three bears. Okay, here we go. Once upon a time, there was three bears. There was a mama bear, a papa bear, and a little baby bear. That's the way I used to read it to my daughter. And when she was about, I don't know, 2 or 3 years old, 4 or 5, the very young age, you would squeeze that in there. A little baby bear. I like saying that stuff. But anyway, so the mama bear was cooking spaghetti. And, all the bears were hungry. And the papa bear was like, "Where's the food? I'm hungry. Give me some food, will you?" And she's like, "Now just chill out, Papa Bear. I'm over here working my butt off trying to get this spaghetti done. You just sit there and you just wait." So then the mama bear, she got the spaghetti done. And then she poured it all into the bowls. And then the baby bear was like, my spaghetti is too hot." And then the papa bear's like, "My spaghetti's too hot too." And then the mama bear tasted a little sip of hers and she was like, "Oh God, this is too hot." And the papa bear's like, "Let's go to a movie while we wait for our spaghetti to cool off." And mama bear's like, "A movie? My goodness gracious, Papa Bear. That would take too long." And the baby bear's like, hey, why don't we go for a walk in the park? And then Papa Bear's like, a walk in the park? Why, that's a good idea, Junior. And so they all go for a walk in the park, because Junior wants to play on the swings and whatnot. And you know how hard it is to get kids home from the park when they really want to play in the park, especially when they really get going. But anyway, so they're all at the park playing, and here comes Goldilocks. She comes in there and she knocks on the door. And of course, there's no answer. And she kind of jiggles the handle a little bit, lets herself on in. She looks around. She sniffs a little bit. She goes, oh my, I'm hungry. And she sees the spaghetti sitting in all the bowls. It's like, oh, I love spaghetti. It's a little bit of spicy on my stomach, though. So, but she doesn't mind. She just loves spaghetti because she's Italian. She's Goldilocks, but somehow she's Italian. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm Goldilocks too, and I'm Italian. So no, she goes in there and she sees the spaghetti on the table, and she tastes the Papa Bear spaghetti. And she's like, oh, this is a good spaghetti, but it needs some garlic bread. And then she tastes the Mama Bear's spaghetti. And she's like, oh, this is a good spaghetti, but it's too cold. And it also needs garlic bread, too. And then she tests the Baby Bear spaghetti. She's like, oh, this is just right. And then she starts eating it. And then she sees a piece of garlic bread sitting there by Baby Bear's chair, and she starts eating it too. So she gets her belly nice and full. You know how it is when you get your belly nice and full. All you want to do is just watch some TV and take a nap or whatever. So she wants to do exactly that. So let me light my cigarette. Hold on. And this is coming from the guy who's one of his biggest fears is getting like lung cancer. I need to quit smoking. Anyway, so she goes into the living room and she sees 3 chairs there. And a TV, big old TV, like those old-fashioned TVs back in the day where it was a cabinet, like a wooden cabinet, and the TV was inside of it. And you know how the TVs were with the knobs and all that stuff. So she goes in there and she sees these 3 chairs. They're wooden chairs for some reason. I guess the bears are kind of poor. There's a rug on the floor, stuff like that. You can picture it in your head almost, can't you? It's a wooden floor. And she goes in. She sits down on the first chair. She's like, God dang, this chair's too hard. And then she sits down in the next chair, and Mama Bear, she's got hemorrhoids and everything. So she's got those donuts, and she's got the soft cushions on her chair. You know what I'm saying? And then she goes and sits down on the chair, and she's like, golly, this chair's too soft. And then she sits down on the Baby Bear's chair, and the damn thing breaks. It just crushes. So, oh my God, I can't believe I crushed the chair. It must have been all the spaghetti I ate. And then she's like, by this time, she's done. She's like, I'm okay. I'm not even trying to watch TV anymore. Besides, all the pictures are scrambled. The only thing I can get on the TV is Barney Miller and the Smurfs. Why would I want to watch Barney Miller and the Smurfs? So she's done. She wants to go to bed. And so she goes up to the bedroom and she sees 3 beds there. And she lays, hey, DD74 just popped in for story time. Hey, DD74, good to see you, my man. So she sees 3 beds up there. And she's like, well, heck, I'm going to go lay down. I'm freaking tired. Forget the fact that she obviously broken someone's house and ate all their food and broke a chair. She don't even care about that at this point. So she goes upstairs and lays on the first bed and goes, God dang, this bed is too hard. It needs one of those adjustable things. And so then she goes and lays in the mama bear's bed. She's like, this bed is too soft. What, do they ever flip their mattress? I mean, come on. So then she goes and lays down on baby bear's bed. She's like, this bed is just right, but it's a mite bit too short for me. But what the hell? I'm tired anyway. So then she goes to sleep, nods right off. Well, next thing you know, here comes the three bears. They burst in the door. And Papa Bear looks over at his bowl and says, what in the hell? Somebody's been eating out of my bowl, Mama. And then the Mama Bear looks at her bowl and she says, and somebody's been eating my spaghetti too. And then the baby bear's like, somebody been eating my spaghetti and it's all gone. And then the baby bear's so mad about it, because he was looking forward to having, a bowl full of spaghetti and stuff. And Mama Bear's like, well, there's my ears ringing. Oh my, I gotta slap my head. Oh my gosh. So, where was I? Oh yeah, Mama Bear's like, there's still plenty of spaghetti on the stove. Don't worry about that. Papa Bear's like, well, you heat it back up and I'm going to go in the living room, watch some football. And so he goes in the living room and he noticed all the chairs been sitting in. So he's like, guys, you got to get in here and see this. So they go in there and they get in there and Papa Bear's like, somebody's been sitting in my chair. And Mama Bear's like, well, somebody's been sitting in my chair. What in tornation's going on here? And then Baby Bear is crying his eyes out and goes, somebody's been sitting in my chair and they broke it in two. Papa Bear gets so mad about this. He's like, who the heck came in here and sat in all of our chairs and broke Baby Bear's chair? You know how much I paid for that dang gum chair? Oh, I am so mad. So he grabs the shotgun out of the closet, goes upstairs, because he figured, a burglar broke in there or something. So he gets his shotgun loaded up, goes upstairs, and he's like, hey, Mama, come on up here. Baby Bear, you get up here too. So they all went upstairs, and he's like, somebody's been sleeping in my bed. And Mama Bear's like, oh my goodness, somebody been sleeping in my bed. I hope they didn't have bugs. What do you mean you hope they didn't have bugs? Like bed bugs. Oh, yeah, that'd be terrible. So then Baby Bear gets on the little platform stool, whatever it's called, gets up there and looks. Well, by golly, good old Goldilocks is just laying there sleeping away. She's snoring and got her feet hanging out of the sheet. And Baby Bear's like, somebody's been sleeping in my bed and they're still here. And then Papa Bear's like, well, gosh dang it. I'm getting darn tired of this crap. So he pulls back the covers. And he shakes her, shakes her again. She starts rubbing her eyes and she wakes up. Oh, by golly, when she wakes up, she's looking down the barrel of a freaking shotgun. And that freaks her the hell out. She sits up, jumps up out of bed, and goes, oh my God, what are you doing with the shotgun? Papa Bear's like, well, you've been sleeping in our bed. You ate all our damn food, and you even broke the baby bear's chair. Now, I suggest you either get the hell out of here, and you're going to pay for that chair, or I'm going to blow a hole plumb through your head. Well, Goldilocks wasn't putting up with that nonsense, so she friggin' jumped up out of the bed. She kicked Papa Bear's shotgun out of his hand, and she jumped out the dang gum window, ran down the road, and started hitchhiking. She got picked up by some lumberjack that was down the way cutting down trees, and Papa Bear looks out the bear arms. That's funny. Looks out the window and goes, well, gosh dang it, she done got away. And Mama Bear's like, oh, don't worry about it. Your spaghettis are getting cold. And so the three bears all sat down. They said their prayers. They ate their spaghetti. And then they all took a nap. The end. There you go. So that's pretty much how I would tell my story to my 3-year-old at the time. And now she's 11 years old, and she's not into stories anymore. She wants to play on her tablet and play those Chinese games and whatever the hell that Chinese game is where they're in school. And I don't know. But anyway, thanks for the applause. Thanks for the applause, Philifire. I appreciate that. So yeah, that pretty much ends tonight's show. I'd like to thank everybody for stopping by who stopped by. But before I do end the show, I do want to give a final shout out. So let's do the YouTube side first. All right. We have Philofire hanging out with us, and thank you for the applause, Philofire. We have Sagittarically Speaking, talking about Michael Fontaine. And of course, Michael Fontaine is a pretty good guy. Did I just mention Michael Fontaine one more time? We had Keith's dad hanging with us way early on. We had Lotar 900, otherwise known as Bear Lamb, doing the bare minimum. Bone breaking action was here as well. And let's see. Oh, DD74. Oh, wait, no, that's. Oh, we had John from America. And Christensen Federico. And let's see here. I think that concludes the YouTube side. Now let me take a look at the Odyssey side and see who was hanging with us over there. Hold on. Zoop all the way down to the bottom here. And okay, so over on the Odyssey side, we had DD74, Saggy, and Lotar 900 on the Odyssey side. And hopefully, people will tune in later when all is said and done, and you guys will check out my live stream. And again, thanks, guys, for stopping by and checking me out. I know a lot of times you guys don't like me talking and really just by myself, but really I think I opened up tonight and I spilled my guts and I told you some really actually close personal stuff. And hopefully you enjoyed the stories of my personal life and the stories of the three bears. And I hope you found that John Schneider thing interesting. I know I did. And thanks for hanging out with me and being there with me, and mostly for being my friends. I really, really do appreciate you guys being there for me and letting me open up. It really felt great. This is kind of like almost like a therapy session that I can have at any time. That's what's good about having your own platform, I guess, in a way. And I would also like to really thank Sagittarically Speaking for hanging out as long as he did. I know he probably had some plans. Like he's probably getting pretty hungry right now. I don't know. But anyway, we hope to see you guys on Taco Tuesday. That's tomorrow night where we'll do our regular broadcast. And Keith's dad, I think I forgot to shout out Keith's dad. Keith's dad was here. Keith's dad, if you're available on Tuesday and would like to, you can jump in there too. And somebody whose name I cannot pronounce because it's in a different language just popped in there. But thank you too. But anyway, again, like I said, that does it for tonight's show. And we'll see you all again real soon on Taco Tuesday. Good night, everybody. Don't forget to tip your waitresses and waiters. And if you're going to tip them, I would rather tip the waitresses, especially if they're wearing a low-cut top. Just saying. But on that note, I think I better get out of here before I put my foot deeper into my mouth. And if Saggy was here, he would have cut me off a long time ago and said, come on, man, just end the show already. Jeez. Louise, you've been going on too long, bro. And also, he would have cut me off when I was talking about a low top. Like, he would have said something right there. That's why you got to have people to sort of like put you in place. You know what I mean? Oh, before I go though, there was one thing I wanted to bring up. And I know we've brought this up before, but for Shifty Sunday and maybe even for Taco Tuesday, we need to get ourselves a female co-host. I think having a female co-host would bring some different perspective to the program. And I certainly, years ago when we had a female co-host, everything seemed to work and gel pretty well. And I would like to try to do that again, because it is a pretty good sausage fest in there, if you will. And it would be kind of nice to sort of, Dan has Fizzy Pop and Sandy Diva, and I have nobody. We can do impersonations of women, but they're not very good, and oftentimes we just come off sounding like misogynistic pigs anyway. So with that being said, if anyone wants to audition for the role, we're more than open. You can send us an email to me or Saji, and we will put those emails up on our Taco Tuesday as we talk more about it. Maybe we'll have a contest or something. Anyway, until then, this has been Hebrew77 saying good night and good fight. Well, that does it for tonight's show. It's been real, and it's been fun. And yes, it's even been real fun. But as all good things do, they must end. But remember, there will always be another show. Oh, at least I hope there'll be another show. As long as my internet keeps going and I'm still alive, I guess there'll be another show. But anyway, until next time, remember that snakes don't always bite, but when they do bite, oh brother, it really hurts. So long, everybody. Ha ha. Yeah. Hey, do you like this music? It's completely free. Oh yeah. Dig that jam. Ha ha. See ya.